The steam from
Did you see
Cassandra
this?
Vale's private
What is
spa
it?
had fogged every
It's
mirror in the
important,
marble
look.
bathroom,
I don't
wrapping her in a
understand.
cocoon of heat and silence. At 42, she'd built an empire from nothing, tech innovations that changed how the world communicated, investments that turned startups into giants, a net worth that made headlines. But tonight, in her sprawling Malibu estate, she wanted only one thing: to feel human again. The charity gala had drained her. Fake smiles, hollow conversations, people who saw dollar signs instead of a person. She'd slipped away early, drove herself home, no driver, no assistant, no entourage, and sank into the hot water until her muscles finally unknotted. Now, wrapped in nothing but droplets of water and exhaustion, Cassandra walked naked through her bedroom toward the walk-in closet, her wet hair leaving a trail on the hardwood floors. The house was empty. Her staff had the night off. The security team monitored from the gatehouse, a quarter-mile away. She was alone. Finally, beautifully, completely alone. She padded through the hallway, relishing the cool air against her skin, when a sound stopped her cold. A child's cough. Small, rattling, unmistakable. Cassandra's heart lurched. Her hand flew to her chest as she spun around, scanning the shadows of her hallway. The cough came again, followed by a man's gentle voice, barely a whisper, "Shish, baby girl. It's okay. Daddy's here." Terror and confusion collided. Someone was in her house. Someone with a child. She bolted back to her bedroom, pulse hammering, and grabbed the first thing she could find, a silk robe from the chair. Her fingers fumbled with the belt as she tried to think. Should she call security? The police? Her phone was in the bathroom. Her mind raced through possibilities. A home invasion. A kidnapping. But why would kidnappers comfort a sick child? The voice came again, closer now, from the direction of her sitting room. "I know, sweetheart. I know it hurts. We'll find help, I promise." Something in that voice, the tenderness, the desperation, made Cassandra pause. This wasn't a threat. This was fear. She crept down the hallway, her wet feet silent on the floor, and peered around the corner into the sitting room. What she saw knocked the breath from her lungs. A man sat on her cream sofa, holding a little girl who couldn't have been more than 5. The child was wrapped in a thin jacket several sizes too big, her small face flushed with fever, her breathing labored. The man, maybe 30, with exhausted eyes and clothes that had seen better days, rocked her gently, his cheek pressed against her damp forehead. "Excuse me," Cassandra said, her voice steadier than she felt. The man's head snapped up, his eyes wide with panic. He started to stand, clutching the child tighter. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The gate was open, and I saw the lights, and Emma, she's so sick, and his words tumbled out in a rush. I just needed help. I couldn't, the hospitals, they said it would be hours, and she can't breathe right, and I didn't know where else." Wait, Cassandra held up her hand, her initial fear dissolving into something else. She stepped fully into the room, cinching her robe tighter. "Slow down. What's wrong with her?" The man's face crumpled with relief at not being immediately thrown out. "Pneumonia, I think. Maybe worse. She's had a fever for 2 days, and tonight it spiked, and she started coughing like this." He demonstrated, a harsh, wet sound. "The clinic said to take her to the but the wait times, 5-6 hours, and I don't have insurance that covers emergency rooms. I was driving, trying to figure out what to do, and I saw your gate was open and lights were on, and I just thought. You thought someone here could help." Cassandra finished softly. He nodded, tears brimming in his eyes. "I'm not a criminal. I'm not here to steal. She's all I have. Her mom died last year, and I'm doing my best, but my best isn't." His voice broke. Cassandra's throat tightened. She looked at the little girl, at her labored breathing and flushed cheeks, and something inside her shifted. This wasn't about money or empires or success. This was about a child who needed help and a father at the end of his rope. "What's your name?" she asked. "Daniel. Daniel Reeves. This is Emma." "Okay, Daniel. I'm Cassandra." She moved closer, kneeling beside the sofa. Up close, she could see Emma's lips had a slight blue tinge. "She needs oxygen. Now." She stood, her mind already working. "I have a friend, a pediatrician, who lives 20 minutes from here. Let me call him." She paused. "Actually, let me get my phone and some clothes. Stay here. Do not move." Daniel nodded frantically, and Cassandra rushed back to her room. She threw on jeans and a sweater, grabbed her phone, and dialed drive. Richard Huang, one of the few people in her life who'd never asked her for anything. Cassandra. It's past midnight, Richard answered, groggy but alert. Richard, I need you. I have a 5-year-old girl with suspected pneumonia, respiratory distress, possible hypoxia. Can you meet us at your office? The grogginess vanished. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Bring her straight there. Cassandra hung up and returned to the sitting room. My friend is meeting us at his office. He'll take care of her, and we'll worry about payment later. Daniel's face crumbled. I can't, I don't have. I said we'll worry about it later, Cassandra interrupted firmly. Right now, we get Emma help. That's all that matters. She led them to her garage, where 5 luxury cars sat gleaming under fluorescent lights. Daniel stopped, staring, realization dawning on his face. You're Cassandra Vale. From the news. The tech billionaire. And you're a father who loves his daughter, Cassandra replied, opening the passenger door of her Mercedes SUV. Get in. The drive was silent except for Emma's labored breathing. Cassandra pushed the speed limit, her hands steady on the wheel while her mind raced. When had she last felt this kind of urgency? This kind of purpose? Years of board meetings and product launches suddenly felt hollow compared to this moment, this simple, profound act of helping someone in need. Dr. Huang was waiting when they arrived. He took Emma immediately, hooking her up to oxygen, running tests, administering antibiotics. Cassandra sat with Daniel in the waiting area as he sobbed with relief and exhaustion. Why are you doing this? He finally asked. You don't know us. Cassandra thought about her empty house, her empty life, the loneliness she tried to drown in luxury. Maybe because someone did it for me once, she said quietly. When I was 23, broke, and my startup was failing, a stranger gave me a loan with no collateral. He said, pay it forward someday. I built my fortune, but I forgot that part. Until tonight. 2 hours later, Emma was stable, sleeping peacefully with color returning to her cheeks. Dr. Huang confirmed bacterial pneumonia, caught just in time. Another 6 hours, and we'd be looking at sepsis, he told them. You saved her life by bringing her in. Daniel turned to Cassandra, tears streaming down his face. Thank you. I don't know how I'll ever. You already have, Cassandra said. You reminded me what matters. 3 months later, Daniel received an anonymous payment covering Emma's medical bills and a year's worth of health insurance. He also received a job offer from Vale Technologies' customer service division, with full benefits. And flexible hours for single parents. Cassandra never told him it was her. But sometimes, she drove by the modest apartment where father and daughter lived, and she smiled, remembering the night she walked out naked and vulnerable, and found her humanity in the eyes of a desperate father and his sick child. She'd been alone in her mansion, but she'd never felt more connected to what truly mattered. And every time she passed that cream sofa in her sitting room, she remembered, wealth means nothing if you can't see the person who needs help standing right in front of you.